All right. Hey. All right. Welcome, everybody, to the Jaw Jackin. We're going to have a special guest joining us in just a minute. But I am your host, Jerry Guy, coming hot off the heels of that nerd, Dr. Gerald Ozier's daily cyber threat brief. Over the next 30 minutes, we're going to answer as many of your industry or cybersecurity questions. What certs to get? What's a good lab? What did I have for breakfast? Whatever it is, whatever you want, it is an ask me anything type situation, and it's going to be good. We are going to be joined right now by our good friend Eric Taylor. Eric Taylor has entered the chat. So let me change my video really quickly. Because the jaw jacking motif is when I'm solo. Coming in hot, Eric Taylor. Eric Taylor has entered the chat. Hey, Eric.
What's going on?
Not much. Can you say what's up? Do a little audio check.
Audio 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
All right, chat. Let us know how his volume is. It sounds a little low to me, but that doesn't mean anything. It could be just me. What did I have for breakfast? Pot of coffee. I did not eat anything, and that's how it goes. All right. Hey, Eric Taylor, as we're getting confirmation on your mic levels, chat is dropping blue hearts and dolphins, which means only one thing, that you are loved, and people are happy to see you, man. So how are you?
Man, I'm doing okay today. We'll see.
Good. We're saying it's slightly low on your volume. I don't know if you can goose it a little bit. Funky Cyber Cop getting a brief in the 70s TV show. All right.
How about that? Is that any better? Maybe I just need to speak louder.
Yeah, how's that, chat? Let's know. Audio is working. Sounds good. Thumbs up. All right. I won't play the music on the back end simply because it sounds like it's drowning them out. Eric, we're going to do some jaw jacking. Any particular story jump out to you today in the daily cyber
plenty.
threat?
How salty and angry can I get today? Because there's some stories I want to comment from today's topics.
All right. Well, let's start. What about the breach forms one? Do you have a thought on that one? I mean, that was kind of like a big story. Love it. With law enforcement coming in hot.
Yeah, so this is something that I've been warning about for a while. The quickest systems pivoted over to the Windows Store, so you can end users can essentially enable it and install it from the Windows Store application. So either your organization's got to block Windows Store altogether, which causes a lot of problems, especially with if you're in the Microsoft 365 tenancy. A lot of the push applications come from the Windows Store. Your Microsoft Office applications, anything is now being pivoted over to the Windows Store. So blocking that is pretty hard. I do disagree. I strongly think that it could be an enterprise attack. Black Bassett definitely goes after that. Yeah, roger that. They do. This is an end user phishing attempt, right? Enterprises suffer from this all the time. Think of MGM. Their IT guys, got suffered from a phishing attempt, right? So, for them to, have we get calls all the time where, they landed on some sort of phishing site and it's talking to them. And they're like, oh, well, you got to call us number now because we're going to, shut down your computer and we're Microsoft. And, I'm on the phone with them and I hear it in the background. I'm like, please just reboot your freaking computer. So, I think I'm going to do a blog post or something later today and, put in the URLs that you need to block, if you're part of, self-promotion, but our clients can't launch it. Or it can launch, but it doesn't ever phone home to the Microsoft Store. And we get alerts on it, so.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the whole Microsoft Store and why Microsoft's wanting to play in that space to kind of give it that Apple vibe where, it's easy for end users. But this is a classic example. I feel like we're giving more opportunity to threat actors by enabling that Microsoft Store. Do you know do you know anything about Microsoft Store's vetting procedure? Right?
I honestly don't.
Yeah.
I think I think they're actually more stringent than the I guess Androids, because we got to mess with it from time to time, and I don't see crazy things getting installed from the Microsoft store.
Well, that's good. I mean, Microsoft has been better at security in general over the last 10 years. So it's good to see that they are practicing what they say. But yeah, that store can be problematic, especially if end users get click happy and start trying to download and install things all over the place. Got some questions in chat coming at you, Eric. David Lamb got his ISC2 CC cert. Nice job, David. Working on his Net Plus knowledge and wanting to get the Sec Plus. After that, how do you know when you're ready to start applying for jobs? He's overwhelmed by the amount of requirements on job listings. And congratulations on that ISC2 CC cert.
All right, so here we're gonna do something here. This is gonna mess things up. I'm gonna do this, and I want to do this because I really need to get with DJ BSEC. Oh, so he dropped off. Perfect. So I'm not sure if that was intentional or not. I know he's getting ready to grab a quick bite to eat, so we'll do that.
It was intentional. I'm gonna go get a breakfast.
And I wanted to do this because anybody who's been part of this stream knows for a while, my stream deck is not set up the way it wants to be, and I really want to play that noise. All right. David Lamb, here's the perfect honest answer to you. I don't give two what certs you have. I really don't. I say that with an asterisk, right? It's all about your character, your charisma, and your passion. 9 times out of 10, when you go in there and you just hammer it, you're like, I know this stuff. I have the drive. I have the want to get there. Most employers are going to hire you off of your passion, your drive, and your ambition every freaking time. The certs help. Yes. They say, hey, this guy knows, or this gal knows, this person knows what they're saying. But I can tell you, I've talked about this many, many times back when I was doing penetration testing and I was doing, all these things. I never had to show my certificate being a certified ethical hacker. I said I was. Nobody ever asked me for it. They give you a nice little plaque and all that stuff, and that's cool. Nobody asked me to send a picture of it. Nobody asked for my number. So certifications are good to a degree. It does a proof. Think of 0 days. You got a proof of concept that things can work. Your cert is a proof of concept that you know what you're able to pass a test, right? You know conceptually the information that you need. But I look at that and I'm like, okay, they know that, but I'm still going to hire you off of every day. And I'm the owner of this business. I will hire you off of your attitude, your drive, and your charisma at 9 times out of 10. Because even if you don't have that certification, I know that you have the drive to get it. And that to me, and I know a lot of other people, goes a long way. Because it's not just going to be somebody that's going to just be warming up a seat just to get a paycheck. You have a drive. You have a goal. You want to do a career. This isn't just a 9 to 5. And, I'm not trying to get into work-life balance topic here, but you understand what I'm saying, right? So, David, hopefully that answers. I would say simply based off of that little rant that I did, start applying today. I will tell you, us old people would, now that I've gone non-full tilt. Yeah, hashtag olds. So now that I've gone complete old school, I will tell you, I kind of like this look a little. I know the background's a little jacky, but I just feel like we're not about ready to, like.
Oh yeah, no, it's good.
So I would, but I will tell you what us old people used to do, right? So we would submit an application, we would wait a day or 2 days, and we would call them. Hey, and I know that you're going to have to do a little trickery because now a lot of stuff is technology based. Back in the day, we would have to have, there would be like a front and back page that you would have to fill out of your application. And you would call and say, hey, I'm wanting to talk to the store manager, whatever. Hey, I just calling to confirm, did you see my application? Do you have any questions? I'm not sure I guess for me, if I had to go through that, I think that would work with me as well. LinkedIn message, hey, just wanting to make sure, I'm not trying to be a pester, but I'm wanting to make sure that I've submitted something, my resume over here, and just want to make sure, did you get it by chance? Do you have any questions that I can answer for you? Trying to be helpful and trying to get to the top of the inbox because, if, let's just be honest, everybody sees these conversations all the time where thousands and thousands of people are applying. You're literally going to be application 572, right? So you messaging me on LinkedIn asking if I seen your application or your resume, I'm going to go over to LinkedIn or Indeed or wherever I have that job application posted, and I'm going to look for you to confirm. And if I've already spent a few moments searching to confirm that I've received your application or your resume, I am going to spend another few moments and at least skim it and give it, okay, is this something I should vet out a little bit further? The whole website tactics for social media, you always see the top part of any given website, and the same thing. I will do a brief skim. Does this align with what the job posting is? So long-winded. Hope that helped. But start
Yeah.
applying today and start following up.
Yeah, I would definitely apply immediately. And two things to share with everybody. This is like macro level stuff you can take with you. One, I've heard this phrase used with business deals, but basically you selling your services to someone else for employment is a business deal. Time kills all deals. I'll say it again.
Yeah.
Time kills all deals. So that means if, someone's like, oh, I got your application, right? If you follow up in a few days, like you're keeping it hot, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you follow up in 6 months, it's dead. It's dead. You know what I mean? Time kills all deals. That's why salespeople are, are like, what's the word where they're like up your butt? Not up your butt, but you know what I mean? Like
I've got a couple things I'm not allowed to see on YouTube right now. I can say that.
I mean, like that's why people who are trying to sell you stuff will be like really, really aggressive. Like especially like car dealership salesmen, like they'll call you multiple times. It's because they know time kills deals. The second thing I would say is, I know Eric mentioned like LinkedIn and stuff like that, but we talk about this all the time on the channel. Security companies have security researchers on staff, like Orier, the guy who's going to be on my show later today, to go do research and publish it under the moniker of the business. Mm-hmm. This is the same thing as you publishing your own blog post or LinkedIn post, delivering value to the community at no, expected return. But you're demonstrating your value. You're demonstrating, contributions and stuff. It's the same thing that those security companies are doing. They want you to buy their product, but instead of saying, "Hey, check out our product. It solves all your problems," they say, "Hey, check out this research our team did," and you're like, "Oh yeah, like I see the value in this team, i.e., this product, i.e., I want to look at this product." You know what I mean? Like it's the same thing if you map it to an individual. All right.
Let me ask you a follow-up question on that. If we're going to go down a little bit of a rabbit hole. I've actually got time. Hopefully you do as well. But me and Casually Joseph were talking. We were helping. He was helping out some other people with their resume, and I kind of came up with an idea. And I don't know. I know this will invite more phishing attempts, and malicious payloads and stuff like that. But I really liked at least the concept of at the top of your resume that you're putting in. Somewhere at the top, just like, hey, for my full resume, go to abcdfg dot, zip, whatever the case is. And you can do a full deep dive of your resume. I have mixed feelings, again, from a security standpoint. That's why I have it. But from a CISO's perspective, and somebody who doesn't look at everything with a massive tinfoil hat, that idea, what do you think about?
So I think it's a good idea. I mean, I like the idea. I don't like the idea of pointing to a zip file, or any file. If it pointed to a website, and I think you might even be able to use some marketing technique. I like the idea on the surface, Eric.
Yeah.
And I think you can use some marketing techniques to click here for click here to see 3 things that I've accomplished that you won't believe, or hey, in addition to my resume, here's 5 unbelievable, 5 unbelievable things I've accomplished. Number 2 will blow your mind, right? Like just
Oh, one of
straight.
the oh god, those freaking shorts.
Yeah, but dude, you know what? There's a reason they work, right? So I think if you kind of bake in a little bit of that, I think it could be really cool. And basically, if someone's reviewing a resume, here's the deal: put yourself in the perspective of somebody who's reviewing a resume. I'm sitting down. I'm going to spend an hour going through resumes. Resume. Oh, here is something. I'm still doing the resume work, but here's something that is distracting and I can go explore. I feel like I'm still doing my resume work, but it's different, it's interesting, it's fun, and now you've kind of hooked them and pulled them in. So I think it's a cool idea. Actually, Kimberly can fix it in chat, dropping a wonderful idea. I love this idea.
I missed it.
Kimberly said, why not have a link to a video, like a Loom or a YouTube video, and say like, hey, like, because on a resume, it's just documentation. And a lot of times there's a loss in communication and tone and all these other things. So I love the idea, like a link at the top, like click here for a 30-second video from me about who I am or about how I can deliver value. And then they can like low key see who you are, see your tone, see whether or not, that you have passion and all these other things. That's a brilliant idea.
That is perfect.
Yeah,
I actually love that idea.
That's gonna be the Kimberly Can Fix It award. We're gonna have to figure out a way to like recognize that. But Kimberly, I salute you. That is a dope idea. Love it.
Love it.
I love it.
Right,
I love it.
so,
Yeah. Go ahead.
So let's talk about FBI and DOJ seizures, can we?
Briefly, I mean, there's a ton of questions from the community right now.
Oh, we'll answer some of those. We'll if we have time, because I want to trash all over that.
Okay, let's talk breach forms, and then we'll get some questions.
All right, here's my hot take. The International took down Lockbit. They just spin up another one. Breach forms went down for literally 6 hours. They didn't take over DNS. So they just pointed to another server and said, "Oh, hey, we're over here on Telegram now. Just go." Like literally, if you, I'm not trying to promote that, going to the site, so I'm not going to say the URL. But I went to it this morning, and it's pointing you right to their Telegram channel, which we do all know that. But if you're not going to do a takedown, like complete takedown, take them down, why effing try? Right? You're just slowing. It's like a speed bump going down the interstate. Yes, everybody's got to slow down real quick and go over the speed bump real quick. But then, in a moment, they're back to 100 miles an hour. So I really think that they're doing a massive disjustice. Like, I don't want to. I know this is not political, but you and I have talked about this before, where executive orders and all these other things seem to be fanfare. Like, hey, we're doing something over here, but they've really not accomplished a whole lot. And that's my salty take on that. I think if you're not going to do a complete asset seizure on it, why are you doing this halfway?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't want to diminish the work and efforts and the hard work of all the law enforcement people involved, but it does scare threat actors. But I feel like it's like turning on the light in like a really gross apartment. Like turning on the light and seeing a bunch of cockroaches and like running in and just stepping on a bunch of them. But like a lot of them are going to get into the walls, and you haven't really solved the problem. You can point to like how many you crushed, but
yeah. So I mean, do you consider a win that you exterminated the cockroaches just because they went into the wall and you killed a couple? That's just me. I'm just like, I know people would say this is a win, the hurrah, and all that, but I don't think this is a win. To me, it doesn't. Like I said, I literally translate this to a speed bump on the interstate.
Yeah. So I do like it. I do like the cheekiness of the new law enforcement vibes. Like I said, I think there's a Gen Z person, J-Mod and Kashmir can weigh in on that. But I think that someone's involved in there. So let's do some Q&A.
Yeah, please.
So Bear Cell wants to know, is there a pathway for becoming a BISO, which is a Business Information Security Officer? And for those who aren't familiar with that term, that's typically reserved for like larger organizations. And then you're the information security lead, like a director, but over a business unit. So like in these like large conglomerates, you might be the BSO over, international investments, and maybe you're a BSO over manufacturing, or you're the BSO over United States or whatever. So that's what that is. And they report up to a CISO typically. They want to know, is there any bundled course offerings or any training online or anything around becoming a BSO?
I
I
don't know.
have
I
some
think
thoughts.
that, yeah,
Go ahead.
go ahead, please. Because for me personally, I think that term and the CIA, or not the chief AI person, which I guess CIA instead of CIO or whatever. But those are still cutting edge terms where and that's why I would look to you. Like, is there any?
Yeah. So BISO's been around a little longer than Chief AI Officer, and like some organizations are even just like exploring if they need a Chief AI Officer. Although I will say, I'm giving a talk to the state of Georgia next month, and one of my slides is like, you absolutely need a Chief AI Officer for the BISO. Honestly, you're a senior GRC person over a piece of the business, right? So for training, what I would say, Bearcell, is I don't know of any BISO specific training, because that's kind of just a title. You're essentially a senior GRC person, and you've just been given one piece of a pie instead of the entire pie. For me, if you're coming from business and you don't have a GRC background, this is a complete, like, put a huge asterisk next to it. My GRC Analyst Masterclass, which is priced very affordably, does go through kind of the entire gambit of what is expected of a GRC person. The CISA is for audit. I would say, you know what, probably the number one thing I'm thinking here is the ISACA CISM, the training materials associated with that. You can go get the cert, which would probably help you get the job, but the training materials associated with the CISM might be one of the better things that could prep you for what is expected of a BISO. Basically you get into dealing with the business and boards and executives, and when there's breaches, who do you call first, and all this other crap like that. So that's definitely a good angle. There's a couple resources there for you. CJ wants to know, what's the value of getting the CEF cert? I think CJ meant CEH. CJ, let us know in chat if you meant CEH. Eric, I never had it. You said you had it. So is there value in getting it?
Uh, like I said before, for me personally, I think it was a verification that I knew how to do things that I've been, arrested by three-letter agencies before. It's again, your mileage may vary. At least with the client base that we had, we never got asked for it at all.
Yeah.
We had nobody ever said, hey, can you prove, or can we see that documentation that you've had it? But my industry is definitely, or my scope has always been the SMB market, and typically smaller. So again, they hired me off of my charisma, they hired me off of my speaking and things of that nature. So if you're going after a larger clientele, the enterprise, they would probably ask for it, but my personal experience never was asked one time.
Agreed. And I will say personally, my experience from talking to people in the pen testing community, it is the lowest tiered cert. And I'll just leave it at that. Next question coming at you hot. A lot of people showering Kimberly can fix it with love for her good ideas. Agree. Eric Hemoglobin wants to know what model headphone you are wearing right now.
It's a connoisseur. Yeah, connoisseur.
All right. Can't really see it. Do you know the model number or anything?
Give me a moment. I'll
You
put
pull
it in
that up
chat in a moment.
yeah,
I'll
you
go
pull it
into
up and
Amazon.
I will go to the next question. Tech Reviews wants to know, is it more geographic that certs aren't as important? Here in Ireland, they seem to be very cert loving. That could be the case. My experience is really like 98% United States, right? Even when I've traveled internationally, I've been dealing with like US remote facilities. So even though I'm in like Chile or New Zealand and stuff, like it's still USC. So that could be the case. I mean, I know in Europe, ISO 27000 is all the rage versus NIST and all that. So I guess Tech Reviews, what I would say is I can do two things. One, I would ask like a local recruiter what the value is of the certs in that market, and then two, if I can find it. It's been a minute and I can't think of his name right now, but I've done work with recruiters, and I did a couple live streams where I had recruiters from basically every part of the world, like Australia, Five Eyes countries, and the one from England is a really nice guy. He actually runs a Discord server. He might know. So, Eric, while you answer the headphone question and I can tee you up with the next question, I will go find that guy and message him tech reviews. Also, I think tech reviews is here for the first time. And literally, this is how it works every time, tech reviews. Did you get the model
Yep,
number?
I just put it into the YouTube chat.
So. Okay, cool. So there you go, hemoglobin. Question for you, Eric, while I go off and do work. What are your thoughts on resume format? Do you like a skills section up top, customized for the job, or do you like to keep relevant skills under job history? What do you like to see? What catches your eye?
I'm always going to experience first when I'm looking at that resume. So, making it easier for me to see your experience and things of that nature. And me and Casual Joseph was going through this a while ago, so I want to be bulletized for me anyway. Even if you're emailing me, you'll see a lot of times I have a lot of information to digest, even for my ADHD. I'm like, hey, on topic, firewall implementation, we're bullet point number one, we're going to implement blah, 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 then boom, 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 and then boom, 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 boom. For me, that works well. I know that may drive some other people crazy, but we're kind of going through some of that. So to me, I like to see experience and stuff like that quicker. So I'm seeing that people are not seeing it in the YouTube message. I will post that over in mod chat.
All right, cool. I'm asking him. His name's Paul Charles, and I'm asking him right now. All right. All right, so I've asked the question. We'll see if he gets an answer. Let me check the mod chat. All right. I got the link, so I'm going to go ahead and drop it in chat. There we go. So Pamela Joshua says, how do you stay focused and positive given the current market?
Turn off the effing news.
Okay.
Seriously, like I'm a huge political hound. I do all kinds of, because I always want to know, what, how things are going to impact my business, and are we in a growth phase? Are we a stagnant phase? And all this stuff. And the news, even your local, will destroy your mindset. Between that and I'm even bad about this myself. Get up and go for a walk. Try to do it once in the morning. Try to do it once at night. I'm a big fatty. I like walk a mile. And, in my neighborhood, like I go all the way to where they're getting ready to do phase two. So by the time I walk from my house around and out to phase two and back, I've walked a mile. So I try to do that in the morning. I try to do that at night. Getting that fresh air, getting that, just getting you away from your computer. Whatever, if you're IT, your help desk, your SOC, your whatever, if you're in this industry, you can spend a ton of time putting a permanent indent in your chair of your buttocks. It's very, very easy to do. So I try to set timers to make sure I get up, that I go for even, for me, I have a 2-hour timer. I got little English bulldogs. They have small bladders. They need to go potty a lot, right? So I try to do every 2 hours, and then they can, it gets me up, it's not much of a move, but, I at least got up and moved. So, try to integrate that into your day and try to get that going on, right? So that's what I would recommend. Cut out a lot of the stuff and focus on what can you change? All the stuff that's going on politically, in the state, in the global. Is there anything you can potentially do to stop it? Most of the time, no. So if it's not going to affect your day-to-day life or your family's day-to-day life, unless there's a need to watch it, I would say turn it off. Me personally.
Yeah, no, it's good. So Carrie had a question. Eric, I don't know if you're going to stay. I have to drop in just a minute.
I'll say.
So I was gonna. All right. So he's gonna stay. So I'm gonna answer two questions that came in that I feel are in my wheelhouse and would be appropriate. So St. Paul Powell says, "What's the best way to get acquainted with the NIST framework?" Just really quick. Oh my God, so good, the NIST framework. So NIST cybersecurity framework, honestly, St. Paul Powell, I would say download it, look at it, review it. I have videos on the channel of how to implement it. Just you have to immerse yourself in it. And you need to understand that the NIST cybersecurity framework is a security operations based holistic approach to information security programs. What does that mean? That's a bunch of words. Like, what are you saying? So basically, the way that holistic programs work, they give account for all aspects that you should be thinking about. So that's why you want holistic. Second of all, a security operations approach basically has left of boom and right of boom. Things you can do before bad happens, things you should do after bad happens. And that's like our job day in and day out, right? So we can do all this prep work, but we have to be able to respond and minimize damage and recover quickly and all this other stuff. So the NIST cybersecurity framework, that's the deal. So if you just dive into like 853 or something like that, you're missing, you're looking at a grain of sand when you should be looking at the entire beach, right? So immerse yourself, watch the videos that I've got, and basically, if you want to take it one step further, start trying to implement NIST cybersecurity framework for something as simple as like your home very easily. You want to have a initial profile, which is like, what's your current state, a target profile, where are you going, what are your gaps? That's when you do the assessment and all this other stuff. That's how to best do it. Next question was from Cybercycle. Completed the GRC master course. Love that. Helped in a recent interview. Love that. And then wants to know if I have plans on updating the content or adding content. So a couple things. One, there needs to be an update for NIST CSF 2 that came out. That course is good. I'm currently working on two courses. Neither are GRC Analyst Masterclass related. It's either going to be GRC Analyst Masterclass like 2.0, right? Like the thing is, I can't just continue to update and refine and remove and keep the GRC Analyst Masterclass. Like at some point, I need to like relaunch it, right? You know what I mean? Like, but that's like a massive effort to redo the entire course. So I have added pieces. They're called Next Wave content. You've seen it in there. I've added pieces. I do need to do a NIST CSF 2.0 just for the NIST framework stuff inside that course. I'm glad it worked for you. But the thing is, when you buy the course, it's forever access, right? So at some point, it's like it'll always be there, but at some point, you have to stop adding band-aids and just kind of like reboot it essentially. So that's the long-term vision. But until I have time to do that, I'll continue to update the content as it were. All right, Eric, that's going to do it for me. Chad, Eric's going to stick around, which I genuinely appreciate. Let me punch in a little bit. I hope you got value from the stream. I hope you come back tomorrow. Absolutely. Good times by everybody. Shout out to the mod team. Kimberly Can Fix It for that brilliant idea earlier in the show. Eric Taylor for jumping and staying on stream. Obviously, all the mods, all of you. Hashtag Team SC. I will see you guys later. Until next time, stay secure.
Get out of here. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I did see some people say that now they're getting a remote job, and so now they are going to go get a puppy too. So, good for you. Reminds me instantaneously why I don't know. I guess because I'm the old Bob Barker Wheel of Fortune. Spay and neuter your dogs. I don't know. All right, so I'm just trying to get caught up on mod chat. So as always, the mods are here, or my fellow mods are here, especially Kimberly Can Fix It, Casually Joseph. Not sure how he got to be Cashmere. Maybe it's just a play on the word. I don't know, but we will.
I can answer that because I'm the only
please
one who's
do.
calling it. So Casually Joseph has so many syllables that it's difficult to like say casually. So I've been working on calling him casual, cash, I don't like Joseph because that's, I mean, no disrespect, but that's not a nickname. That's just his name. There's been a slight push for Broseph, but Cash, I was calling him Cash, but that seems way too nah. So Cashmere just felt very, very, you know what I mean? And that's him. So, you know, but Casually Joseph, he's vehemently fighting Cashmere, but so that's where it is. Also, really quick, tech reviews. I'm sorry. Is tech reviews still in chat? Tech reviews? Tech review? Oh, yeah. Tech reviews is still in chat. I've got an answer from my European contact. This just in the breaking news. He says it depends on the job title. CREST, CREST, is very valued for pen testing, but then so is OSCP. He always advises folks to look up the local job ads and see what certs they are asking for in those jobs. So tech reviews, that's your call to action, buddy. All right, now I got to go. You can go ahead and shove me off screen.
Oh, that's a great. I think we've even got that as a thing in here. I'll have to see. Maybe not. But anyway, so yeah, put in your questions here. I'm getting caught up. You know what? So the following music is brought to you by, to give credit where credit is due, the No Bandwidth Band, Bo Bolak. I've been, you know, quote unquote, loving his music lately. So we're gonna fire up a little bit of this. So he's definitely more of a hardcore type of person, a rock band. So this is, I will drop his link. You know, so all the music credit goes to him. If y'all have questions, please put it in the chat queue with your question mark, and we'll kind of get that going there. It is interesting to see how globally certifications are respected and treated. So insert the more you know. Space Tacos, yes, we get to have a shanty today. That's right. Those who don't know, if you are new, the ending, I do our Barricade Cyber prompt, which has got a sea shanty tied to it that we've got permission to use. Very, very awesome. Let's see. Carrie Tyler also mentioned volunteer, go out and do some good in your community. That's a good thing when talking about. There was a question that I thought I saw. Space Tacos asks, let me minimize this. What frameworks do you work with within your company, Eric? So, good question, Space Tacos. We're going back through CIS, the new updated version of it. God, I can't believe I just said that word. I did so good without saying that daggum word. But then we will pivot over to some. We got to get one of our clients, or several of our clients, are going through some SOC 2 audits. So we're trying to figure out, will our documented CIS, not just self-attestation, but actually, like, here's an effing binder of all of our CIS controls with proof and everything like that. Will this work to be a part of your SOC 2 audit? Because a lot of SOC 2 audits are they're not all encompassing, right? If I'm saying that word correctly, but it's very targeted. So when you look at a SOC 2, they'll have a scope on there of what exactly it is. So hopefully that will do it. And to the comment of the cashmere, internally, there's a comedian, Ken Coy or something like that, Asian dude, really, really, really funny. He's Filipino. That's also Asia, right? I don't know. This is why I don't do Worldwide Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. We'll spend the entire whatever time trying to find one country, unless it's like the Big Five or something like that. But anyway, we call him Joseph. right, let's see. Divine loved the divine grace. Is that different from divine? I don't know. Maybe it's just a different username, but it looks like the same image. But super glad that that was helpful for you. How comfy is that couch behind Leonardo? That is one of the most comfiest couches or chairs in the world. We got a foot ottoman here, so yeah. If we're pulling all-nighters or whatever, I will just pop my head back there, and it's not hard to take a 30-minute cat nap on that thing if I need to. So we didn't pay much. There was a local furniture store around there, so in our old house, very, very bougie, but we had like a little small living room upstairs for the bedrooms and stuff like that. So we had like a little sitting room or whatever. Not like a full living room, but like a sitting room. You can put like a chair, a little small couch, and a little TV, a little sitting area. So that way, it's just not all bedrooms and stuff like that. And this is in there, so. What advice do you have for someone considering just starting their own business? Pamela, don't. Look, I don't wish business ownership on anybody. Much like anything in cybersecurity, infosec, IT, don't do it for the money. Please don't. The daily grind all the time. There is a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. So unless you have that drive, you have that desire, like, I want to own this, like, you could taste it waking up. It's all you think about. It's not, oh, it'd be nice to be my own boss, I can set my own hours. You don't set your own hours. Your client sets your own hours. Especially when you're in our industry, those 3 a.m. crisis situations happen. So I would take some self-reflection. Is it really something that you want to do? Let's see, I answered that one. So I think this is why she was asking that question. I've been in 2 final rounds and haven't gotten a role. Pamela, Joshua, have you reached out to him? Like, hey, it's been it's been a couple weeks. Just kind of curious what the status of my where we are in the stuff. And if they say, hey, we went with somebody else, say, okay, I completely understand that. There may be somebody more qualified for me or something like that. Can you tell me what this other candidate had that I did not have? And so it's like, I want to better just put it like, I want to better myself. I want to be more valuable, and your feedback will be very beneficial. Can you tell me, what did this other candidate or other candidates have that I did not have, so I can make myself better? And framing it that way, you will be more likely to get some feedback. Maybe it was a cert, maybe it's experience, which we all hate that topic, but yep, as Nightbot said, if you're getting value in any of this stuff, please do us a favor and smash that like button, and consider subscribing if you're not currently. Kojo, yes. Just up. Oops. Happy click there. If you were starting over, would you go to college? Probably not. I probably would not. I would probably do the same stuff I did. I would, if I knew then what I knew now, I would kick myself into gear harder, is what I would say. Like, stop. The imposter syndrome is massive. Like, do I really belong here? Can I do this? And especially with my jaded past, getting in trouble with, 3-letter agencies when I was young, my biggest thing of, can I do this without going to jail, without crossing that line, was my biggest worry. And that's the part I needed to take slow. I needed to pace myself to make sure that I was not going to cross that line. When you have a family and you're the head of the household, so to speak, because we're old, very traditional views. The, being in the Bible Belt, insert whatever political assumptions you have. They're probably correct. But there's a lot of people who depend on me. And if I wanted to grow the business to be something more than myself, like I do, there's going to be more people depending on me. And you can't really take care of the people. In my situation, I cannot take care of the people who depend on me, my family, extended family, my employees, team members, whatever, and their families as well, right? They're all depending on me to be the best version of myself. And that goes back to the business ownership question. There's so many people that are going to depend on you. It's a lot of pressure, right? Making sure you're getting your accounts receivable in so you can make payroll, making sure you're keeping your clients happy. And there's so many different things. So to answer your question, no, I wouldn't. Oh, okay. Very cool, Miss Mary. Yeah, I think I answered this one. Stefan, what's the hardest part of cybersecurity? Probably imposter syndrome, I think. Yep, exactly. Also, as a business owner for 20 years, non-tech, it's not about the money, it's the mission. The money helps you do some cool stuff. If you are money will amplify the person who you are. If you're an a-hole, that you running a business that may become successful will turn you into a bigger a-hole. It just will. If you're kind and you're into philanthropy and you want to do other stuff, money from a successful business is very, very cool. That is one of the biggest benefits I think I have of running this business. Being able to help and impact other people's lives. For like the MUSC Children's Hospital is our biggest thing. We got a couple other ones that I won't discuss publicly here because it may cause for cancellation, because it does get very political in some ways. But like I said, consider Southern Bible Belt, and you could probably do that. But anyway, but it does help you do some really, really cool stuff. So, even to answer this one, or to comment on this one anyway, business owners are on call 24/7, 365. And it's not just info security. I've talked about this before. I was an industrial electrician, and for some stupid reason, I went from industrial to commercial to residential. I don't know why. Normally you go completely the other way, you kind of advance, but I went backwards for some stupid reason. But when you're a commercial and residential electrical work, same thing, right? You get those emergency calls in the middle of the night when you're the business owner, or if you're the lead tech or the lead electrician or the lead plumber or HVAC person. There's a lot of businesses that run 24/7. So the t-shirt is nice and cool logos. But my Philip Mississippi State, this is just a jersey, unless you're talking about the barricade stuff. And if so, cool. Kimberly Can Fix It is starting to take over. We've given her some new ideas. We had another marketing firm that did a lot of the some of the original design work, and then Kimberly Can Fit. There was a transition where they were pivoting over to, we were pivoting things over to Kimberly to do the mock-up and design of things. So I've given her 4 ideas, and then we just had one, I think, we have 3 or 4 ideas that we've given her, plus there was another one that just came up in mod chat. So if you haven't seen it, since we're talking about it, drop out of this. If y'all have not seen it, I am typing slow for some reason. My Joe, stop. Thank you. Merch.barricadecyber.com is the link to get. And of course, I'm running in Sandbox, so things are always a little funky. So one of my favorite shirts here: cybersecurity, the few, the proud, the paranoid. We have the new RDP, ransomware deployment protocol, and of course, Printify is going to be goofy. Yeah, I'm not sure if we're sticking with Printify. Do me a favor, if you've ordered a shirt from us recently, I'm not saying go do one now, but if you've ordered a shirt from us recently, what are your thoughts on it? Have you liked the quality? We're not sold on the solid idea of using Printify long term. So we may actually move over to Bonfire. I don't know. We're having a lot of discussions internally. So looking at mod chat here. George Strasburger, is a new HS80 worth it over the Concierge? Dude, George, I don't know. Unfortunately, I've gotten to the age, George, that I don't do, unless it is for, infosecurity, or I'm doing forensics and I'm doing tinkering. I just don't tinker to tinker. I found a product that works well. If a bunch of people say, hey, you really got to try this when you're up for your next headset, then I'll do that. But I just don't buy random headsets or whatever just because. So, but yeah, if you're looking at the HS80, try it out. Please let me know how you feel about it. We can fix it in mod chat. I am trying to catch up. Let's see, can I find this one? Let's see. Ooh, that worked better than I thought. Question: as someone who is in college for a bachelor's in cyber, should I drop out and consider getting a lineup of certs? It seems to mean nothing in this industry anymore. That depends on your overall goal. If you're wanting to be like me and in the trenches, maybe the degree isn't worth it. But if you're wanting to go high level, you want to be a Jerry, you want to be high managerial in the larger business and enterprise space, keep yourself in college. Just do it. You know, it just, you gotta, that's a question that only you can answer, right? So, just scrolling through my chat. I guess I've gone renegade again. Yeah. Like I say, I'm fueled on caffeine and hate lately. Let's see, got another question. Thank you so much for the mods for sticking around. Do you suggest starting at help desk and pivoting from physical non-tech? Yes. Karate Joe, absolutely. Some level of help desk, some level of IT. I'm a huge component that forensic work is definitely, and SOC. Cybersecurity, I personally believe, is not entry level, like no knowledge entry level position. I strongly feel that you need to know what is acceptable network behavior and non acceptable network behavior and computer behavior to be able to threat hunt. Otherwise, you're literally going to look at a log of 50 million things, and you're not going to know what to expect. Did that just turn on? I think I did. Yep, I did. Because I see my thing moving. Shut off tracker. Move that. Boop. I really need to pivot this again. There. Get that down a little bit. Alright. Hopefully that helps. But yeah, you need to get the practical knowledge. Alright, question from Justin. Let me find him real quick. Because I really like... If you're just starting in cyber, but part of the upper echelon years-wise and looking for more stability, i.e. hours and schedule, would you suggest going GRC analyst or engineering route? I think analyst, to be honest with you. If you want a more structured environment, set time schedule, things of that nature, probably GRC. Or I would say GRC. Because SOC analyst, depending on the organization, you could have ebb and flows of crazy work hours, and definitely, I guess it depends on what part of engineering. If you're just doing the design of network infrastructure, things of that nature, maybe. But I see a lot of network engineering, especially when I was doing it. Um, a lot of implementations are done over the weekend and after hours, and you have to be a part of those type of those deployments in order to, being able to help out and get, problem issues solved, things of that nature. And I just noticed 181 of you sexy mofos are in here. Thank you so much for sticking around as we go through and we answer your call. Hello, live caller. Let's see. Reed Herbert, ransomware deployment protocol, laughing. Yep, love it. Let's see. I'm not Boloximus, I think. Sorry if I'm butchering that handle. Question: finally getting interviews for cyber roles. Congratulations to that. How soon is too soon to follow up? Should I not care about smelling too desperate? Yeah, I mean, you don't want to come off as clingy or desperate. I would say in today's world, I wouldn't go more than a week. If, let's say hypothetically, your interview was on Monday or Tuesday, I would call before noon on Friday. Before noon on Friday. If your interview was, Wednesday, Thursday, I would call Monday or probably Tuesday of the following week. All right. Monday, Friday, a lot of people's, go out for tacos. They're in the downstream. You may not be able to get them. Mondays are always typically very busy, so try Tuesday morning of the following week. Again, if you had an interview Monday or Tuesday, I would try before noon on Friday. But I wouldn't call more than once a week. And after you get that, if you get voicemail, call them back in another week. Hey, just following up on my previous voicemail. I hadn't heard anything back. I'm just really, really curious where I stand. Sorry, just catching up on mod chat over here. If y'all have questions, please continue to put the Q mark with your question. It helps some mods be able to quickly discern that it is a question for us or a question for me versus the general population. So that helps them weed things out. Do you ever hire remote workers? Asking a friend. Yes, we hire remote workers all the time. It's actually one of our pain points right now. Yeah, so it really makes things hard for interviewing process, salary. So many things go in when you have a diverse working environment. So y'all driving with Bo Bullock's music here? What do y'all think of that? Casually, Joseph, shut up. Sorry, just. Malware Trinity. I'm with you, Tail, on the whole caffeine and hate thing this week. It's ugly. I need to spend some woosah time this week. Oop, didn't mean to do that one. We are past 10 o'clock, where the viewers are definitely starting to drop off. Maxwell, you only had to do one question, good person. Or one Q, but that's okay. Apply to ID help desk or continue to study and hold out for SOC position. This is another question. It's a personal preference. I mean, what's your financial situation? Are you desperate for funds? If so, maybe want to get a part-time IT help desk. I mean, I don't know, right? I don't know what your case study load. I don't know what your financial situation is. There's a lot of different stuff to consider in that question that I can't answer. So look at your financial situation. Look at where you want to be. Habib A, what's the difference between Docker and VM? Oh. I don't know much about Docker. So, I mean, a VM is a virtual machine. Um, it is a full operating system that you can be able to manipulate. My understanding of Docker, sorry, you're going to hear. My understanding of Docker is it's like in the VM world, it's like a snapshot. So you're spinning up an image of an image to be able to run some code against that could be able to, that as soon as you wipe it or you shut it down, it goes away. Like it's non-immutable. So, or it's immutable and it can be wiped when you shut it down. And when you get into Dockers and Kubernetes clusters and containers, I'm a little bit of deer in the headlight. That's not my world. I know how to be able to detect its presence from a forensic standpoint, and then start to go into them and start looking for forensic evidence inside of them. But day-to-day operations and how they're coded, it's a little bit out of my wheelhouse of today. Sorry, I couldn't answer your question. See, even if I don't know, I'll tell you. Yep, there's still a ton of people here, Luke. We will hang out as long as there's honest questions being asked, not just eating up YouTube time just to eat it up. I'm pretty sure my next call. Yep, perfect. Okay. Just want to make sure somebody didn't sneak in on a calendar event on me. Yeah, see, that's Dale. That was kind of like my understanding as well, right? It's just like if you're taking a Linux OS and you're spinning up a Docker image, it's just part A. It's like that snapshot, right? And you manipulate some code and you can be able to do what it just runs the things that you need to run, and then when you shut it off, it's just gone, right? So I'm glad I'm not too far off. My boy Joseph says they're just a type of a VM. And a good thing to note about this is you don't have to be an expert in all these doggone things, right? It is perfectly okay to say you don't know. Me personally, I have a lot more credit and I take a lot more respect to people when you're like, yeah, I just don't know, instead of those who just act like they know effing everything. And we're getting to the bottom of my coffee cup. So either the anger is going to get higher or I'm just going to pass out of it too. AJ and AZ, what's going on, buddy? Hey, Eric, do you hire WGU grads with degrees and certs who have some experience at CTF and try hack me? Yeah. I don't see why not. I mean, I don't have anything against WGU. As far as I know, they're a stand-up college. Yeah, I don't see why I wouldn't. I'm just not. That my stance on try hack me may change soon. The try hack me has always been like that pen testing platform and everything like that, but Joseph and some other folks have really been telling me that they have the they have some DFIR stuff and everything like that, but I don't know too much about their platform. I would honestly hold if you went to, but it's still good stuff. Okay. I would probably advise more people to go to Black Hills, do their anti-theft training, go through their CTFs, because I think there's a massive shift in the SANS industry and teaching where, if you've been following the SOC course or the class this week, I've been catching it off and on, work life, right? But a lot of the SANS instructors and even the slides. So here, if y'all been on the class, y'all been seeing the slides, and I'm gonna step off camera, and I'm gonna go grab a booklet, which I'm really glad my camera's not following me, because one, you don't want to see this fat guy bent over, and two, my office is a complete effing mess. But when you have the SANS books, it might be kind of hard to see, but a lot of the slide formats are just like what John Strand has on his stuff right now. So the banner and everything like that, it's all, they're definitely incorporating a lot of the SANS look and feel. And to those who don't know, this is for the FOR 500 basic Windows forensics class. I've got 6 of them, or 6 of the classes, but so yeah, so a response, I'll respond to that privately in mod chat, but Joseph, I see your comment. No, you're not. But yeah, to answer your question, I don't see what the problem is, right? Casually, Joseph, yeah, you're glad I showed you the book. You don't know where it is though, and it will be moved. Joseph says he's gonna come over here and steal my SANS books. I've actually got a debate because it's been a couple years now, and I've got a debate. Do I go back for recertification because now of the newer Windows 11 OSs are in the classes, and newer server OSs and stuff like that, so it's time for recertification? And I'm strongly debating how much I hate my life in the terms of, as I get older and looking to, expand the business and stuff like that and bring on more and more people, do I potentially talk to SANS and start pivoting to a master's degree? Can I even do that without college credits? Right? I don't know. So. Alright, trying to get caught up on the questions here. Luke, yes, I know. Windows 11, especially their new freaking timeline. I can go on a rant for days on the new freaking SQLite changes and everything they're doing. Joseph confirming that I do need a bachelor's degree first. Okay. I can get a master's certificate. Yeah, I'll have to. So those who don't know, mod chat's talking, and Casley Joseph was talking to SANS a while back, especially as he's getting ready to finish up his first degrees and pivoting. I think he's getting ready to go to WGU, but I don't know. He's over there. He's over there, knocking things out of the park with what he's doing. Question from Space Tacos. Are the SANS books as expensive as the courses? Can we get the books without taking? No, to my knowledge, you cannot get the books without the course. The books come with the course. just do WGU. Yeah, I hear a lot of people saying that they are a really, really good school. Or college, I guess I should say. Oops. A lot of higher learning institutes give credit for real world experience, so it may not be as hard as you think. Yeah, and because I've already got the GAC certs, I don't know. So it's something that I got to have a conversation with them on. You know, and I'm in my upper 40s, I should say. I don't want to. We'll say exactly my age, and half the time I can't even remember because I'm an old. But again, like I said, as the business is growing and making way for the youngers and trying to teach them and educate them, and I will be. I mean, it's not going to be a this year or next year. It's probably a 5-year item or something. But as I'm looking long term, I got to figure out where do I sit. I know I will not be as fast as threat hunting as some of the new kids coming in. It'll be my job to teach them. And that's where the knowledge comes in, is taking what we've seen over the years. And I just turned on my AI tracker again. I hate that. Anyway, taking what we learned over the years and teaching these, like, no, this is, you see this, but it's really this, and this is what you need to look for. So it's kind of the way it goes. All right, mods. We have 144. It's starting to die off. Space Aquas is confirming. Only heard marvelous things about WGU. Yeah, I'm not going to throw Joseph's current school under the bus by mentioning them, but I really don't like hitting the school he's at right now. They have really given him a run for his money, so to speak, with just messing with his schedule and graduation times and all that stuff. So any last questions? Laura Flowers, have a good day. It is crazy. It's 10:22, almost 10:30 here on the East Coast, and you guys are still chomping at the bit and hanging out, and I love you for it. Alright, so Rahan, and I'm not even going to attempt your last name. You've been here for a while. I'll butcher the crap out of it. So I keep trying to drink coffee that I don't have any more of. Do you need college to get hired? No. 30-year-old who wants to get into CSEC, so cybersecurity. No, you don't need a college degree. You just got to have the passion. Jeff, you are more than welcome. Mia, you're more than welcome as well. That's because story time is fun. Yeah. And y'all know I'm riddled with ADHD, so y'all can pick a topic and I'll go for 30, 45 minutes on something stupid. What? Thank you. One of the best stream today. Thank you. Actually, it was my Windows OS. I'm pretty much on Ubuntu or Period unless I'm using something like Sierra. Oh, okay. They're coming old, so Windows 3.1 DOS. I'm so old that you originally booted into Windows 2.5. I think it was 2.5. But then you booted it. Once you booted in DOS, then you loaded Windows. And I think right after Windows or DOS 3.1 or 3.11 is when you can modify your auto exec.bat and be able to launch right into Windows without going into DOS. Hey Luke, when Microsoft called, they said you're gross. Just kidding. Loving that tie in your profile though. Space Taco says digital forensics and go! Yeah. Need a little bit more specific on that one. B-Berry, where can I find open roles with Barricade? You won't. It's not there. There's no open roles here, unfortunately. But when we do open up the floodgate, if you would, for new positions, stay in the Simply Cyber Discord. I will be posting it there, and I promised the folks at Black Hills that I would post it there as well. So we'll hire from the community before putting it on the interwebs. You are OG. You say so. I'm just old. Mia, how do you utilize your ADHD? Having timers, like we were saying earlier. So the having timers to be able to get up and move about and taking those breaks, or your seat will have a permanent indentation of your buttocks. You got to get up and move. So like, in ADHD and autism and a lot of the mental, quote unquote, mental disorders, ADHD is a mental disorder. It's a chemical imbalance of the neurons firing. It's actually firing too fast, or in some cases too slow, depending on what you're doing. But the hyperactive is, you're trying to burn off more than what you really have, so your mind is going in overdrive. Best way to describe it is you're sitting at your TV in your living room, and somebody has a remote just constantly changing the channels, and you can't stay focused. But anyway, same a little bit right there. But I forgot what I was going to say. Oh yeah, so getting up and just resetting yourself helps that. But a lot of the, if you have ADHD or if you have Alzheimer's, or not Alzheimer's, but autism or whatever mental thing, there's that certain tick that helps you focus. And for me, it's always been computers. It's always been breaking stuff and finding how to stop things from being broken and stuff like that. So technology from that standpoint. Some people it's programming. Some people love looking at lines of code and it calms them down and it helps them relax. And people it's cars. You just got to find out what your thing is. Do you ever attend RSA? Not currently, Van. Been asked to. start attending, I will consider it in the years to come. I got a few years back from during Memorial Day for like $10. Well, it's at least in the image here for your thumbnail, it looks very, very good. While we're going the mile today, what is your opinion on LinkedIn profiles and their potential for OSINT? It's very bad. It's very, very bad. Do not put the thing. Okay, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. You're gonna get. Stop posting crap that you don't want everybody and their brother to know about you on social media. Stop. I'm going to tell you, you go over to Black Hills and you watch those elite people who do pen testing. The first thing that they're going to is go to your social media profiles. They're going to go to your Facebook. They're going to go to your LinkedIn. They're going to go look at your Twitter. They are going to find all those little nuggets about you to be able to socially engineer you. And if you don't think for 1 second that that the bad guys are doing that same exact thing, you're freaking on crack. If you put something on social media, expect that you're standing in the middle of town square with a bullhorn broadcasting it. Stop putting stuff out there. Unless it's related to the topic at hand, stop putting stuff out there. Luke, yes, you can go find a Windows XP ISO. Exactly. Mia, yeah, you have if you have it, go for. I mean, just try it. This is one of those things you don't know until you try it, right? You remember growing up when your parents trying to get you to eat food? You know, you don't know until you try if you're gonna like it. Just try it. Just try. Go to if you don't want to sink in too much money, just go take some Black Hill stuff. Take some Jerry stuff. He's got the Cyber 101 class. Go take that. See, can you focus? Can you? I mean, I'd rather you spend, what are the classes? A couple $100. I'd rather you spend that than try to get, too far down the rabbit hole and get student debt and all this other crap. You betcha, Roland. You betcha it's still going, because I'm here on a mission. Like I said, I'm surprised I didn't say some stuff to get myself canceled off the planet, because earlier today, I was ultra spicy in mod chat. There is so Sean said maybe put fake stuff. There is that mindset where you are doing I forgot the proper term for it. I mean, I know it's OPSEC, so operational security, but there's another term in operational security where you would put the fake stuff off to essentially drive. What they would essentially do is put the fake stuff out there that will drive them potentially to a honeypot or something like that to help alert things that was potentially going off, whether it's from social media or whatever. Those are good books. I've got some questions from Mike because his podcast ended abruptly. So I'm on the waiting list for consulting. I was told it was like 2-year waiting list. But he's off doing whatever he's doing. But there's definitely some travel stuff he was talking about in the latest podcast that I still have some questions on. I'm like, you said you were going to talk about this. All right, give me one moment, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to keep the music playing. I'll even turn that up just a little bit, but I got to step away for about 40 seconds. All right, ladies and gentlemen. 121 of you people. I can't believe it. What in the world is going on? Michael, after all this, is it common not to work in the technical stuff? I was hoping to do incident and response. Instead, I am scanning, then writing a report on the reports from Metasploit Pro, and that's it. Yeah, I mean, I guess it was, they had a need to fill, and you filled the need. Some people in mod chat are calling for an all-day AMA. Yeah, so Luke, I actually got the 7-book bundle. I originally got like 2 of the ebooks, and then I went back and just bought the entire 7-book bundle. But I do have 2 of the physical books as well. I normally had up here, but yeah. So, all right. Any last questions? No, we're not, Dr. Joe Dozier in mod chat. Oh. What is the group playing? The music or album? So this is, I'll put it in here, but this is Bull Bollock from Black Hills Information Security. He's got a band called No Bandwidth, and I just dropped the Spotify link in the chat. That's the album I'm playing called Hard Reboot. Sean, you're absolutely welcome. I feel like this. Excuse me. I feel like this is the like Black Hills pre-show banter. I'm here because you're here because I'm here, so we're all here just having a good old time. So let's get Eric a master's degree. Maybe. It is a topic. It's something I'm considering. I think this is actually the last song in his album. Yep. All right, this is from Bo Bullock's Glitch of Consciousness 2020 album. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is getting to be 10:40 a.m. here on the East Coast. As much as I love hanging out and I'm going to need a nap after this. Captain Joseph, I'm just going to pour another cup of coffee and I'm going to get ramped up, baby. To sleep for lunch. Any last questions before I head out? Luke, no. Again, I don't want to just sit here and just kill time just to do it, right? All right, so I'm not seeing any questions coming up. So those who have hung out, you've stayed you did your diligence. You hung out. You dealt with the CISO series news and all of their shenanigans and antics and stuff like that. You stood around asking questions and hanging out. To those who pursue come the spoils. Here comes the sea shanty and the closing argument. Until next week, I should be back starting officially again on the Tuesdays. This week earlier, I wasn't quite feeling it. Just everything going on the personal life that all of you know about. I won't have to dredge that up. But DJ BSEC is committed to other things right now, so I had the ability to be able to step in his absence and be able to hang out with you. So glad that everything lined up well for that. So until next week, ladies and gentlemen, take care of yourselves. Stay curious. Try to stay secure out there. Take care.
A kid whose passwords laid across all sites, they were the same. A criminal then found their fame by taking that data to go. Soon may a criminal come to steal your pictures and data and run. One day when the crime is done, they'll steal your account and go.
You gotta patch it. I hope you enjoyed the Jaw Jacking. Be sure to check out the Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Briefing happening every single weekday morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., where you can get the top cybersecurity news stories of the day, network with other professionals, and then stay for the Jaw Jacking just like you saw. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. See you in the next one.